Welcome back to Color Class. I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
And today we are back discussing olive skin tone. Now, we have done a video on olive skin tone before, but it was much more of a color analysis based olive skin tone video, and I will link it for you. But today we're doing something a little bit different because we got a little bit of back and forth about olive skin tone. So, Lucinda, you probably want to take this one away.
I will take it away. We got a question from a viewer, and she's still confused. And I don't blame her. I get it. Because we color analysts have made this complicated in some cases and flat out wrong in the others. And so I'm answering her question today as a portrait painter because that's my other self. And when the time comes and I'm mixing up flesh tones and having to understand what comprises them and the fact that, you know, there are multiple levels. If you don't paint your flesh tones in multiple levels, you get a flat looking face. And I'm sure we've all seen those in not premium portraits,
when
but
we don't put our blush and our bronzer on.
Well, when I put a big face full of foundation, that's kind of the look.
Right.
But I digress.
Okay.
So skin tone, it's a really complex build of a bunch of different colors. And it's made up of red, yellow, and depending on whether you're using additive or subtractive color mixing the way that you're thinking about this, it could either be blue or green. The final appearance depends on the volume of each of these colors and how they're mixed up, right?
Right.
And that also is affected by, in a human being, by their melanin, what kind of melanin, and what you're seeing through their skin. Now that's a clue. So it's definitely not the Crayola crayon color for flesh because I want to have a speak with those Crayola people because that's bothered me since I was 4. A huge error was made in skincare. Basically, I'm sure you've seen out there skincare, or not skincare, but skin color charts that have been done with the skin from light to deep. And the first one was done by a man named Fitzpatrick. And then Google, in concert with a man named Monk, did a different skincare chart that's a little bit better.
Skin color chart.
Oh, did I say that again?
I know.
What's wrong with my brain?
Well, I would be saying the same thing too. So
You're so sweet. But what people everywhere forget, except people who paint portraits, is that there's a sideways dimension to skin and the color of skin. And it's not light to deep. It's not warm to cool. And it is affected by your anatomy, what's under your skin, and how much of that your skin hides versus how much of that your skin shows. Now, I call it the papillary flush because I just think that's a cool phrase. But what that means is, you know, how much of your blood vessels, the things that are running under your skin, can be shown through your skin. But do you know who does not have much papillary flush showing? Olive folks, people who have olive skin tone. Now, how does that work? Because I know what you're thinking. People are like, well, olive, there's like kind of a green thing-ish, greenish, like a just a tint, just a tiny bit. Yeah, there is, but it's not green. It is a lack of papillary flush. So if your skin, your epidermis might be a little thicker, it's showing less of the blood vessels that are running under your skin, your complexion might be olive. Now, what does that mean to you? Because you asked the question, am I warm? Am I cool? What is it? Because people have told me both. Competent people have told me both. It is both. It can be, your olive complexion can be as broad as everybody else's complexion. You could be warm, you could be cool, you could be light, you could be deep, obviously, because the only difference between the olive complected person and everybody else is that you have you hide a lot of the processes that are going on under your skin. It's not as transparent. So the red that would normally be there is suppressed. And when you suppress red, what do you think you see? Green. Exactly. So basically, it's kind of all an illusion because we are not seeing skin that is tinted green. We're not seeing skin that's greener than other skin. That's not what we're seeing. We're seeing reflected light. And with us, my daughter here, who, boy, when she gets flushed, when she's working out or whatever, that's when you can really see the papillary flush. But on any given day, you see some, because her skin is somewhat transparent. With an olive complected person, you see less, a lot less. The cool thing about olives, and I don't love that name, but I have to speak to the color powers and see if we can get it changed. But the cool thing is you have more sun protection. You have more of what you need to be less worried about going out in the sun without your sunblock. But at the same time,
Don't do that.
well, of course, but with you've got your red volume toned down just a hint, but that doesn't mean that you think of yourself as warm or cool. So I hope that answered your question. Just remember that if you're painting a portrait and you're doing an olive skin person, hold back on that red a little bit, in the outer skin tone. You lay in your colors and you get the inner tones as you are trying to get, kind of an interplay of light on the skin. But for that last wash, make sure don't worry about adding green. No. That's not what we do. We suppress the red, and all else will be perfect.
So thank you for that question. If you have any questions that you would like us to answer, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you would like any of our social media channels or connect with us over on Patreon, link is at the end of the video or down in the description as well. So lastly, I'm Sarah.
I'm Lucinda.
This has been another color class, and we'll see you in our next video.